It's Cambatta, the shaman, the god, the crack baby. And right now you're tuned in to Kofi's Universe, the #1 and most truest source for hip hop news, reaction videos, sports, black culture, and much, much more. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button now. Bada.
YouTube, salute! King Kofi back again, man. We got a special guest. This person right here, this artist, he allowed me to interview him. He was my first interview on my channel, and my channel was just climbing up the charts. Now, 9,000 subscribers later, he's back, man, which is a blessing in disguise. If you don't know who this artist is, I'm going to give you a little breakdown about this artist. I want to speak highly of him because people love him, especially on my channel. His first interview has the most interviews out of all my interviews, of other interviews I have for all my artists, so that speaks highly about him. When people talk about him on my channel, this is not me. This is the subscribers, his fans. They put him in the category with K Reno. They put him in the category with Cool G Rap. They put him in the category with Big L. They put him in the category with Corrupt, Mad Skills, Sean Price, aka Ruck, Prodigy. So he's in an elite class of lyricism, y'all. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and enemies, the one truly only Cambatta. Salute, homie. Welcome back.
Peace. Thank you, Kofi. Yes. The best intro ever. I'm honored to be on here again. And it's been great, man. It's been great.
That's right. Thank you for coming back. That means everything to me in my heart because so many people asked about you on my channel in the last couple of months. They said, "Hey, is Cambatta coming back?" I said, "Yeah, he'll come back again one day." Oh man, I love that interview. It's classic. They were so happy just to hear from you and so many things they've learned about you they never knew. Now, we're gonna move forward with more questions, more things that I know you would love to talk about. And before we get into that, I just want to say, how are you doing in general?
I'll be honest, man. It's weird. Obviously, 2020, we had Kobe death, then we had Corona, then we had the George Floyd, the whole riots, the Black Lives Matter, and all of this is coming at the exact timing of me dropping my album. And even though it's selfish for me to feel some kind of way about that, it's like looking through my eyes, it's kind of, it adds another layer of difficulty to everything. Of course, the world as a whole really isn't, there's really nothing pushing them to care about hip hop right now or music as a whole.
Yes.
Most art industries are suffering right now. I mean, I don't know what the movie industry is gonna do. Live shows are completely tanked out. Everybody's losing money for the most part. But I would say beyond that, I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful that friends, a lot of my friends and family is still alive and we're still thriving. So I know that not even though this is a crazy time, that it's gonna have some kind of rubber band effect in the grand scheme of things, and I just hope this doesn't hurt my music as much. But it is weird. It's a weird time. Let's just say that. I woke up not even on the real right side of the bed. I had a phone call with my label this morning, Mellow Music, that I actually missed on purpose because I just wasn't in the right state of mind. Like nothing's going how I want it to go, essentially. And it's because of what's going on in the world. So it's hard, but I'm just pushing through.
That's right. I just want to send my positive energy your way because I know we all are dealing with so many things on our path, so many things that's concerning our mental health that people overlook every day. But whatever I can do on my end, I don't care if it's on a spiritual level. I just want to send that energy to you because you are a human being. You're not just an artist, but you're somebody out there that has feelings too. And I think people might overlook when they look at artists, entertainers. They feel like they're just some invincible machine. Not at all.
Yeah.
So I just want to let you know that, man. Just continue to strive, grind, meditate, whatever you need to do to put yourself in the best position because not just for the fans, but for yourself first and foremost.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You don't want to get too lost in it. It's very easy to get lost and wrapped up in the whole art of things. But I just try to keep everything as consistent as possible as far as I go, because just like you said, even with what you're doing, we got to roll with the punches constantly, man, and it's not always easy. And you can either go with it. And of course, you're doing something that people need. People need the reactions. People need to understand what to listen to. And right now, you're offering it that. We just need more people like you all over the place that can give artists an honest ear and give them honest time, because there is no industry no more. There really isn't. I would say 90% of the media outlets that I would be using to get my album out are completely gone. Most of the people got fired. There is no in-person meeting. So for me to get that classic funk flex freestyle and sway freestyle like I wanted to, they're just not doing them right now. And so I'm thankful that you're still doing this, man. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you. Like I said, you gave me the opportunity, my first interview. And like I said, I've always daydreamed when I first started my channel, like, it'd be nice to have an interview with somebody one day. But when that blessing came and I manifested and it came, I thank you. Like I said, the door opened so big for me that the blessing just came in abundance. So I'm just very honored and humble. Like I said, I always show the universe with action, not just, with words, because it's easy, things can be taken from you. So I'm always humble and be put in the position that, like I said, I might love my channel, but like I said, at the end of the day, I do this for the people. And I know you do it not just because, of course, this is your career, but at the same time, people out there want to hear the message. And just to let you know, even before you begin, some of your top fans, my sub that's on my channel, are from the UK, are from Spain, Ghana, South Africa, Barbados, Jamaica, Brazil, of course, the United States. We're talking about Canada. We're talking about Mexico. We're talking about Philippines, Finland. We're talking about Sydney, Australia, New Zealand. We're talking about Kenya, Angola, Morocco. The list goes on and on. So your fans right here that's going to see this, this is where they from. Of course, you have fans all over, but those are some of the top countries on my analytics, on my channel that talk about you.
That's beautiful. That's why this go to universe, man. That's unbelievable, man. I'm speechless when it comes to things like that. It's so unbelievable that we're at that point. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. That's unbelievable that we have that kind of reach these days, man.
Yeah, you never know. Of course, unless you tour abroad, of course you're gonna see that. But like the way the web is now, social media is like, wow, my fan over there, or you inspire somebody right now. Maybe somebody might be stressed out. They pop on your CD. Oh, I'm back in the zone. I have my sanity. That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're up to how many subscribers now?
I have 10.5K.
You moving?
When we first did the interview, I was at 2,000.
That's crazy. That's beyond, dude.
Everybody shout out, how you getting that so fast?
You ain't signing no deals with the devil. That's just consistency.
No, I'm never gonna do that. No. Never. It's all me. They can't buy me. I don't care what they say. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna be who I am. Because like I said, I'm the voice for the people, and I want to make sure I give authentic interviews, the people that the people want to hear. There's no disrespect for the elite top, artists, entertainers. I have nothing against them. But if I was to ever get an interview with somebody like that, okay, maybe. But right now, I feel that people need to hear from the people that's going to actually use their platform for the right reasons, not to be paid off and say, well, say this and say that. No, I want somebody to speak their mind, because right now, especially what's going on, I'm going to talk about everything with the protests, the movement. People are looking for outlets. People are looking for anthems. We call them anthems, because they need some type of music that's going to galvanize them to move forward out here. Because when you're dealing with social injustice, police brutality, racial, wealth inequality, all that takes an effect, and you need somebody who's going to give me the right message. And a person like you, you beyond fit that category. So you a person that is in the top tier with the flag on the tank moving forward.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
thank
Man.
you. You have the right people in your circle too. So that's also a blessing.
Yeah, I'm thankful for my team, dude, because they know I'm on the spectrum, and I'll slip into a deep depression quick, and they really keep me afloat when I'm not operable. Like Instagram, all that stuff gives me extreme anxiety. I look at my inbox and I start to panic. And so they thankful for the team, man. That's for anybody listening, that's number one key. Build a strong foundation around you, whether it's your woman, whether it's your friends, your brothers, your family, your business partners. You can't do this by yourself. You can't do this by yourself. Even like I say, even if it's just your queen, if it's your fan base, whatever it is, that community sense is all we have.
Shout out to Cambatta's team, the people behind the scenes, the people that you may never see, you never hear from. We might not know all their names. His manager, shout out to Phoenix. Shout out to everybody that helps him. That you see the artist, don't get me wrong, and everything, but you don't know who the other people are that might be up at night, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, helping him with everything. You might not ever know what goes on. So we want to give a 3 claps, 3 salutes to them, y'all. So we have to pay homage. And just to let you know before we begin, I have a real close friend. He's like a brother to me. His name is Sharif, and he's a big fan of yours. And he said, "Hey, when Cambatta come out here, man, in LA, we taking him out to eat." So that I'm just still letting you know that offer ain't going off the table. We still gonna take you out. So.
Oh man, I appreciate it. I'm hungry right now. So let's get so yeah, I need to come out there ASAP, man. I hope they're letting people on planes, man. But I'm trying to come out there maybe August.
Okay, for sure. We can definitely, like I said, link up. And if you got blue, red pill, bring them on. That's all even better.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah. We gotta get them on. Have you had them on the show yet?
Not yet. I would love to get them on the show. I would love to have them on the show.
Yeah, I'll hook that up for sure. I know all of those, and then also shout out to Sharif, yo. Definitely, thank you. Tell him I said thank you.
He gonna love this interview here. Like yeah. Oh, he also want me to tell you too. He said, "Have you heard from Sharif, the best rapper on the West Coast?"
Let's get it in.
That's just a joke for him. He's just joking, but let's begin, man. Like first and foremost, like I said, congratulations with your record deal with Mellow Music Group. If people don't know about Mellow Music Group, it's a independent record label that was founded in 2007. They have some of the best artists that's on their label, maybe from the past. We're talking about Ghostface Killer, Pete Rock, Locksmith, Raz Kass, Jean Grey, OC. Now we have Apollo Brown, Skyzoo, Kool Keith, one of my favorites, Homeboy Sandman, Joel Ortiz, Mr. Lift. Now we got Cambatta, who joins that list, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a powerful stable there of musicians for sure. It's
yeah. So tell me and tell the fans, man, like, you know, what made you want to go that route?
I'll tell you the truth, man. I've been rapping since I was 15 years old, and I've been through all of these 2000 eras, the whole blog era, the beginning of the Twitter era, Instagram. I've seen it all. I've been rapping, putting out projects since I was 20. I put out my first project, which was about 13 years ago. So I kind of lost faith in getting a record deal for a while. I was doing it so long, you know, dropping videos that only got maybe a couple hundred to 1,000 views on it. So I stopped looking. I stopped wondering, I stopped knocking at the door. You're outside the building so long, hip hop ain't letting you in, you build a tent outside. And that's what I've been doing. But in 2018, they actually heard the Cambatta project, and they reached out to me. I didn't even know Mellow Music existed. Because like I said, I just stopped caring about the industry. I just isolate myself, make the music, get it to my team, they put it out, and that's it. I just was like, yo, like, the world ain't for me. I might not ever become a big, rich rapper for whatever reason. You know, I guess it's not in my cards. And then in 2008, I answered an email So check your emails. And because if it wasn't for that, I was about to press delete on the email.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it's like I've had so many people blow my head up and say, yo, we're going to invest in you. We're going to give you a deal. You know, we want to do this. And then it's just a sham usually. But this time it was real. And this is definitely an opportunity of a lifetime. We're just trying to make sure that we squeeze as much juice out of the fruit as possible at this point. But that's to anybody listening too. If you're going, like I'm literally about to be 33 years old. So that whole concept of you getting a deal when you're younger, don't keep your mind set on that, because you never know when it's gonna come. No matter how many views you have or how many views you don't have. Followers too. It don't matter. Just keep your faith together. Keep going. Be consistent, because that's how it happened for me. And now we're here. So
shout out to the future people that's going to come out with their albums and mixtapes and artists that's out here in the game. Like I said, he's giving you some food for thought. So please, man, like I said, don't give up. And thank you for sharing that with them. Now, let's talk about this album, man. It comes out July 21st, correct? LSD?
Yeah, it comes out July 21st on my birthday, my 33rd birthday, which if you know about the numbers and the mystical supreme mathematics, then you know that the number 3 is a very powerful number. It's synonymous with the vertebrae in your spine, the levels of the masonry, the levels of the pyramid, as well as the age that the Christ made his transition. Of course, that's allegory and parable, metaphorical in a sense, but I'm sure and any man that's crossed that 33-year barrier, that those years are very, very significant in you becoming a man. So this album, LSD, which stands for Lunar Solar Duality, drops on my 33rd birthday, which happens to be on the cusp of the Cancer and the Leo, which is the moon sign and the sun sign. So it just works out perfectly with as far as the symbolism. And I would categorize this as my first actual album. My previous projects were kind of approached more like mixtapes.
Okay.
And this project took me 4 years to develop. The whole time I've been in I moved to New York in 2015. Since then up to now, I've been working on getting this project out. So it's a long time coming.
Okay, cool. Everybody, make sure you actually purchase that album. You can go to his website. He's gonna give that information at the end. You can follow him on Instagram, Cambatta Music, or IG, correct? Yeah, like I said, all that information will be in the description, so don't worry about that. And if you already know who he is and you big fans out there, please purchase the album it'll be on all music platforms. I believe
it'll be everywhere.
Okay,
You can go to www.cambattamusic.com and pre-order the album. It'll be everywhere, Spotify, everywhere. We're dropping a new single tomorrow, actually. So it's all crazy.
Okay, for sure. Well, let's talk about, like I said, we got the album title down. That's good. So last time I remember, I checked it out on Instagram. I believe it's 16 tracks, correct?
Yup, 8 and 8. 8 lunar songs, 8 solar songs. So.
Okay, perfect. I like that duality, that balance. The features. Who's featured on the album?
I have Red Pill is the only rap feature.
Okay.
Beyond that, I have Songbird. She was actually on the Holy Ghost 2 album. She added vocals on that album, but she's actually on, I want to say 3 songs on this album. She's on, 3 songs on this album at least. I have Kenny Buttons, who I did a track called People with. He's a dope vocalist and producer. I also have No. She's a spoken word artist. She's actually on the intro track. And then I also have a female named Natural Onyx on the album as well. So mostly singers. There's only 1 rapper on the album.
Okay, no problem. Everybody, like I said, when this album drops, you will see an album review about it on my channel. So like, be prepared for that, because I do album reviews for any great artist that's actually coming out with music. So it gives the fans a chance to see my perspective, how should they purchase it or not. And I always give strengths and limitations, but at the same time, I still give a grade and a score. So we're definitely going to be doing that for your album.
Yeah. I
Um,
appreciate that.
First single I heard from the album, I did a reaction to called "Nigger Christ."
Mhm.
Love that song. Love that song
Yeah,
right there.
yeah. It takes certain minds, and I know you're a decoder. You understand the math and the physics. Some people thought it was just strictly demonic, but yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that. But yeah, Nigger Christ was actually the first song that I recorded for this album, and it explains the duality and the mathematics perfectly. You
If you
know.
haven't checked out Nigger Christ, please YouTube the video, stream it, purchase it, the single. My reactions on my channel, you can check that out. You
Mhm.
also have your latest single right now, Bones of Osiris. I
Yes.
love that, man. That song right there, when you made that song, especially, excuse me, when you released that song, and
Yeah.
I was like, this is song is like it's perfect for what's going on right now.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I recorded and wrote that song before this all happened. Um, and I'm somebody who doesn't write directly from uh new. I don't do social conscious stuff when it's new. I like to go into history. I like to go into the mythos. I like to go into the hyperbolic aspect of it. I don't like to draw directly from the current until I know that it's a lasting thing. But I'm very biblical based anyway, like not biblical directly straight from the Bible, but all divine prophecies is usually where I draw from. So when I do make social comparisons, it's usually backed by some kind of revelation, So Bones of Osiris is it explains what's going on now perfectly. It's about the kind of the angst and the frustration with battling with the fact that we know that we're gods. We know that we have these unlimited creative abilities. However, we are stuck in this invisible prison, playing by rules that we don't naturally uh, adjust to. These everything's man-made, and it's made by a man that used to whip us. We got cops killing us. It's absolute chaos. So it just happened to work. And then if you know about the story of Osiris
Yes.
or Asur, then you understand that it works perfectly. Like the story of Set and Osiris and how his body was destroyed and scattered into many pieces, and then Isis came along and his wife and reassembled him. And that's exactly what's happened in these situations. We were all scattered. We were all separated by whether it be race, belief, sexuality, poverty, whatever it may be that separates us. But then it takes something crazy to bring us all together. And it just so happens that Osiris's wife name is Isis, which is the name of a terrorist. It's too much. It's crazy.
Yes. Yes.
So that's kind of where I'm going with that. But yeah, Bones of Osiris, if you haven't heard it, listen to it. It's a bar factory. It's bar heaven.
Can you just repeat the last part just about ISIS Asar? Excuse me, not Asar. Aset, because it was kind of going out. Just I want the fans, the subs, and people that's going to
Yeah.
see this. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have Osiris and then his brother Set. Osiris essentially had the throne, right? And of course this is mythos. So we're talking about Osiris being the bearer of light and life. We have Set being the god of chaos and death. Essentially, this is the grand dualistic dichotomy of life. We have the struggle between the moon and the sun. We have the struggle between good and evil, hot and cold, to find this stasis and lukewarm. So you have Osiris and you have Set. Set actually killed Osiris and scattered his body into pieces. Some say it was 14 pieces. Some people say it was as many as 42 pieces. That kind of represents the separation of our nation as we are now. Osiris's wife is who reassembled Osiris after his body was scattered. And that kind of represents the reuniting of the people after a traumatic event like a coronavirus, this race war that we're seemingly in the middle of, and it has so much symbiosis, that story of Asur, Set, Osiris, Isis, with what we're going through right now with the police and black people, and it's these stories, these divine biblical stories are the perfect metaphors, the perfect analogies for what's going on right now, for sure.
Yes, if you want to, for the people out there, if you want to know more about that story, you can actually look at books from Dr. Yosef Benyakin. Also, Kwesi has documentaries out there. There's other scholars, just to let you know. And like I said, that story is actually shown in The Lion King, if you never thought about it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's the same exact story. That story is actually synonymous with, I would say, all stories. It's synonymous with the Journey of Heru, which is synonymous with the story of Batman.
Yes.
Most hero movies that you hear of is the same movie, the same framework. You know, so absolutely. Shout out to Dr. Ben too, for bringing us the real knowledge.
Yes, rise in power to him. He's our ancestors. One of my friends, comrades, we call him Piyanki, aka Grasshopper. He used to say Onkster, or Onkster. You know, the Onks they carry to go to the ancestral realm with them. Now, producers on the album.
Producers, now I had a lot of producers on this album. Okay. So first off, I got you guys are probably familiar with Brother Rich and my Holy Ghost albums. So Brother Rich has a track on there. Eddie Deuce, also E-Bass. E-Bass is a bassist. This is the guy, if you've heard Blueprint, if you've heard even Eminem's Renegade, if you've heard Throwback by Usher. I mean, this guy, the workout song by Kanye West, he's the bassist on all the best songs in hip hop. Wow. He has 2 or 3 tracks on the album. I got Gums on there, Batman's on there. Shout out to Choop. I got D-Polo, Vidon, a lot. Almost too many for me to remember, but those are the ones that stick out right now.
That's fine. Thank you for letting us know. I see you have a variety of producers. That's actually great. So we'll be able to dive in to different sounds, different type of production realms, so we can see how you actually, you know, using your versatility. So, because I know
a lot of these songs were made over such a long period of time that there's probably recorded over 300 songs for this album, if I really think about it. It's just been over 3 years. So literally every time I went to the mic, I was trying to create a different pathway. And because of that, I just have a diversity of producers on this album.
Okay, cool. So we got, like I said, the tracks, the producers, the features, the album title. You broke it down to us. So, you know, from there, you know, I'm glad you told us, you know, the record deal, the album coming out July 21st. Please make sure everybody purchase that. Just kind of want to touch in more about the album, especially what's going on out here in society. I want to talk to you about how did you feel when Ahmaud Arbery, if you ever saw the footage or not, I don't know if you did, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, when you heard or seen these murders, you know, live on camera for you, how did that make you feel as not moving yourself away from being an artist, but as the human being, as being a African, a black man in this country?
I mean, it's painful. My whole life, police have been the only people I mean, even more so than a thug or a gangster getting robbed, when you go outside and you're walking around, police strike fear. Literally, you look at their belt and there's a baton on it, there's a taser, there's handcuffs, there's a gun on it. You know that they're coming to kill. They're basically people hunters. They're human hunters. So police strike fear. My whole life, it's been like, okay, watch out for the police. If they're behind you, you're nervous, you don't know what you did wrong. That's number one. Number two, I've only seen Black men and Black women getting hauled off, and it's only brought terror and nightmare to my life, essentially. The deed that I saw the people getting arrested for was never as bad as the arrest. It's an unfair justice. It's like you get caught smoking some crack and all of a sudden you're in jail for 3 years with no rehabilitation and you come out worse. So that was my mindset on police prior to this. Then in 2012, my father, who I just got back in contact with, was killed by police in the same exact way that George Floyd was killed. Literally, it was a regular domestic situation where the cops got called. 8 police officers killed him by tasing them and beating them. And this happened in Tucson, Arizona, which, you know, if anybody knows about those places, the police there are very racist and they basically don't care. So this happened to me, like literally exactly the same exact thing happened to my father. So I experienced it firsthand, and that was 8 years ago. And since then, we've had how many instances of this? So to me, I'm just sick of it. It makes me sick. It's either it's happening at such a high rate, or it's the only thing that the media wants to show us for whatever reason. And I don't know which one it is. Should we hate all cops? I don't know, because I don't know. Is it just that, in my personal experience, I've never been beaten up by police. I just kind of keep my head down, I guess. I try not to shake the tree too much. So I haven't experienced it. It doesn't mean that I won't, and it doesn't mean that just walking down the street, I won't get attacked someday. But just the fact that that fear is there it just makes life on this planet kind of uncomfortable in a sense. You can never feel completely free. You can't yell too loud. You can't run around too much. You can't really celebrate. You can't drink outside. You can't smoke. It's like so many rules on Earth. And we're the only species on Earth that puts these rules on us. You know, I don't believe nothing at this point. I mean, we're going through this shit with the masks. It's just clear. If there wasn't a race problem, or if there was ever a time where the race problems were going away, the media and the government, they make sure it doesn't. They keep it real in there. So at this point, I just try to keep my face out of the news, so that way I can still maintain some kind of satisfaction in my life.
Yes.
You know.
Everything you mentioned about the police, about the the race war we have, how Black people are being targeted, murdered, in this country, from a domestic terrorist group. That's what I call them, because the justice is not justice for us. It's more patrol and control. From that, how do you feel more about police officers? And I know you're highly intelligent. When slavery was abolished in 1865, our ancestors walked off the plantation. Hey, I can go do this now. I can go over here and do this. Oh no, we gonna wind them back up, bring them back. So the creation of slave patrollers, that name changing to become police officers now. When people say, well, we need police reform, but that's almost like trying to say we need to stop what they created from the past, though.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that when people talk about police reform, or they need to stop? But at the same time, it's like when they say police reform, it's like you're fighting the system too at the same time, and the police are just the pawns on the chessboard.
Yeah. So I feel a couple ways about it. I agree, we do need absolute reform, if not complete destroying and rebuilding of the entire system. However, I don't believe them. I've never seen much movement. Like from the time I was born and had consciousness to now, I see a lot of presidents, I see a lot of board meetings saying that they're going to do something and nothing ever gets done. So I don't have faith that anything's going to change. But to change it, they would have to really get rid of every police officer, period. and they would have to train people because obviously they're there to protect and to protect the system against us, right? And to just maintain the slaves, maintain the sheep, and keep them sheep too. Make sure they're riled and they're in their pen and they're stable. Really, it would have to be a situation where the police are here strictly for us and they're completely nonviolent. Just like a teacher at a school, if a teacher, you got a teacher in the school and they're trained never to hit the children. Never, it doesn't matter if you got a badass kid that's cussing at you and that is hitting you, you don't hit the child back because you're somebody that's in authority. If the police are gonna be the authoritative factor, then it should be us that's doing wrong. Let us kill you. You don't kill us. Then we're in the wrong. Then all the emphasis is on us. So they need to be trained to be humanitarians. They need to be trained in psychology, empathy, sociology, and no weapons on them. So the first, I guess, wave would be people that go around and they just make sure things are going okay. If they see somebody in trouble, they ask what's going on. If they see drug dealings, they politely ask, say, hey, you guys realize that, this is against the law. We will be forced to ticket you. If you continue to do so, we will have to bring in other forces. And then you have a force of people that can do arrests. Still, they don't have guns. They may have tools that can help them maybe subdue somebody. I wouldn't even say anything as powerful as a taser or something like that. Like, you shouldn't need that many people. Like with George Floyd, if they weren't violent, he wouldn't have had to felt protected. If it's like, listen, man, you're doing something illegal. We don't have the right to touch you. However, if you get violent, we do have these people, and you have people maybe sitting across the street, and they're your handlers. They're only there if something gets violent, and they still don't have guns. And at a point of something highly violent happens, then you have maybe a sniper that has to be called to shoot. But other than that, like, drug dealers and thugs are violent because of police. If there was no threat of a police coming through the door, kicking your door down to kill you, you'd only have to worry about other people. And you wouldn't have to worry about other people if we weren't so poor. So everything comes based on the fact that we have an unfair economical system. We're living in a world in the future where there's an abundance of everything. There's no reason for anybody to be poor in the first place. So guess what? If nobody was poor and struggling, and there would be no point for anybody to do anything illegal. Humans aren't born trying to be evil. We're basically here to love and thrive. Every single little kid you see, all the thugs were once little kids that were happy and playing one day. Something happened to make them like that. Something made them scared. Something makes you have to hold a gun. And in my mind, it starts off with them realizing that, oh my God, I'm gonna go to jail and there's cops, right? It's not really gang wars. Like, yeah, but there wouldn't be as many gangs if we weren't in such a level of scarcity, or at least psychological scarcity. So the police need to be completely reformed. They need to be completely nonviolent. If they were completely nonviolent and us as civilians were killing them, they would be the ones marching. And I would be much better with that because they get paid, they get sworn in to be the authoritative figure and keep everything secure. They got to be the ones that hold back, And if it was like that, if you saw a police officer and you were like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I wasn't aware that what I was doing was illegal. I'm sorry. Give me a warning. Then ticket me 3 times. I get at least 3 strikes before you send me to jail. Because how extreme is that? I'm gonna capture you and put you in a cage. Like that, bro, like what makes you better than me as a human? That's insane. No other species on Earth does anything even close to this. So I think the whole system is corrupt. Yes, we need to start. Will it happen? I don't know. I highly doubt it. It almost seems like the world will have to I hate to say this. it seems like the world will have to get wiped completely clean for us to have a chance of this shit working. These people are not going to give up their power. They're going to give us the illusion of it.
Thank you.
They're not going to get it. Bro, how did they go from being such brutal beasts to becoming civil, understanding people with no therapy? All of a sudden they're nice? No. They just realize that they don't have to be as outwardly violent because we're so psychologically vulnerable. It's so easy to slave us. We're so gullible as people that they don't have to resort to just slaughtering us in the same way. They can do it in a way that can make them seem like it was a mistake. But I don't know if I got too much off a topic, but yeah, I could go on days. Like
perfect.
Reform 100%. But it has to be through and through. They're basically hiring ex-military people that are violent just by nature. They love shooting guns. I remember when I was a kid, other kids wanted to be police officers because it seems cool to run around with guns and shoot shit. It seemed like an adventure. Oh, I want to stop bad guys. That's not the right reason. You know, that's not reality. Like a lot of these cops are at the crosswalk. They're, you know, if there's construction on, they're right there. So yeah, they're bored. They're not even doing what they came to do. They came to shoot niggas up. Mm-hmm. That's why they got the job. They were in the military. They got kicked out of the military, or their military stint ended. So now they don't got nobody to shoot. Basically, these are extremely violent people, like that are just waiting for their opportunity to cap somebody, and that's just the wrong way to go with these. These are monsters, man, and they can't help it. It's almost like an oath you take. Once you put that badge on, it like transforms you like a Power Ranger.
Yeah, yeah. Wise Intelligent has a song that came out 4 years ago on his album called The Blue Klux Klan, and it's called it's titled About the Police, and he talks about like how the police, that in the third verse he mentions the police. He said this little piggy went to high school. This little piggy, he runs a hate group. This little piggy was jealous of the black star quarterback. Now he's on the force. So when I was hearing that, and it makes sense because the people I've seen, I'm not going to generalize all of these cops, but I've noticed always somebody I want to join the force only to get my retaliation on the people I can't get. So I'm gonna take it out on your ethnicity, your nationality.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there has to be some kind of mindset in order to even go in and get that job. Like, generally, you're not. I personally don't know anybody. I guess I do. Nobody close to me that ever had the urge to become a police officer. Mm-hmm. But you're right. It has to come from something happened to them that made them want to be on the other side of the fence. And when it comes to what you're saying, where you have to interface with these black people, even me as coming up, man, I always know, and I said this before, me, you know, I'm a light-skinned guy. I grew up, you know, I got a lot of the gifts of being, you know, a black man, right? But there was always that kid that was just a little black, had just a little bit more speed, the whole six-pack, just naturally born muscular, you know? And you see it like, oh, okay, yeah, like if me as a fellow black man can notice this, imagine other people. Like, you could see how that could make you uncomfortable as a man. You know what I mean? When you got to deal with LeBron James and Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, a lot of this could just be based on strictly jealousy, you know, fear. Not that that's always the case, because it's not just black and white like that. Like, you'll get black cops, you'll get Hispanic cops. It's some kind of I'm looking for the word, but it's clearly rooted in something from a level of insecurity. It's all insecurity. You don't leave your house with a gun on your waist unless you have some kind of insecurity or distrust for people. You have to almost hate people to want to put them in a cage, you know, so you're right.
Yeah. And from there, like I said, when you're dealing with the police, as far as being a black man in this country or a black woman, You know, it's the things that we face because automatically when they pull us over, we already know they're going to be hostile towards us. You know, they're looking for us to even say the wrong thing or assume that we said the wrong thing to them. I fear for my life. You know, and it's easy for them to say that, and that's they can always get off. All they'll get is this administrative, you know, pay will leave, transfer to a different district, their family, their home, and everything. But that
So protected.
yes, that family has to deal with that loss forever. They might not even get some type of monetary value through civil court. So at the same time, it's like we continue to suffer on our end, and even this is warfare.
Yeah.
Most people don't want to see it is the fact that two sides, their side, this side, and there's nobody coming down. I told you, I told you, I told you. But I see right now in 2020, I see this paradigm shift, and I know you see it too. We see the protests. We see the people out there not just marching, but they're fighting back too now. This younger generation is not having it.
No, they're not. They're not. Because they know that the world, even though you got people like the police, the world is still kind of soft, and we're just way softer. Like, if we did have, like, you notice, I think what was it Khalid Muhammad? Was he the last of the Mohegans?
Yep.
Literally, the last of the Mohegans. Like, we're in a state, especially as Black people, where we have to convince ourselves we're upset sometimes because it's much easier for us to survive. You know, you look at the poorest kid on the block, he still got a pair of Jordans on. Yeah. You know, so there's this spiritual battle we're having with, okay, we're finally doing better. We're looking on this TV, we only see Black people now. Are we doing better? Is this a sham? Do we want it to change? If we do change, are we gonna have to start from square one? If we start our own nation and we have to give up their money, like, hold on, I just got my job. Hold on, I just got my record deal. I don't want things to stop right now. So a lot of people are in between that. Imagine LeBron James and imagine these athletes. If we completely change the system, they would have to give up. They'd have to put a knee down. They'd have to stop playing, you know? But at the same time, this whole, even this quarantine is proof that a boycott is possible. Mm-hmm. It's clear proof that a real boycott is possible, to where everybody just stops participating in America as a whole. Mm-hmm. No voting, no buying anything that's not created by our hands. No participation in public transportation, nothing like that. Let them feel our dollar go away. Is that gonna happen? Probably not. Every single brand that we love is owned by, you know. So I don't know what's gonna happen after this, because I see other war-torn countries that have been rioting for years and years to no avail. And of course, the other countries are a little bit more, I guess, strict, and they don't give a damn. But this country is the same way, except that they kind of beautify everything to make it seem like we're getting some rights. But I don't know what's gonna happen after that. I don't know if anything's gonna change. It might just get worse, to be honest with you.
Yes, that's one thing I know I see is getting worse. Mm-hmm. From my research, since George Floyd has been murdered, there's been over 126 Black people have been murdered in the United States. A lot of they're not talking about that.
Get the hell out of here.
Yes. We had over 12 lynchings in the last 2 weeks across the country. Yes, 12 lynchings, and we had 5 lynchings in California alone. You had a lynching in South Africa, a woman that was actually pregnant. You had a lynching in 2 lynchings in Georgia, Alabama. They had 5 nooses hanging in what's the park name? Dang, it's a park in Oakland that was hanging out there. So these things are happening. You had a Black woman, 18 years old, was actually set on fire by 4 racist white men in Madison, Wisconsin. So they're applying pressure, because the first thing I told one of my friends yesterday, he's my play brother named Justin. Shout out to Justin. But I told him, When we stepped out on a protest and we stepped out, we moving and we're gonna do this. The first thing they said, "Oh, y'all want to move? We're gonna move, and this is how we move." They're telling us, "Come on, if you want this, we're gonna give you what you want." So all we see right now is Jim Crow 2.0. That's all we see.
100%. And their candor and the way they're acting is exactly that. Like come on, hit me. Come on. You ever see like one of those situations on World Star somewhere where there'll be a woman that's like, yeah, come on, hit me. Mm-hmm. Because she knows once you hit them, you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. And that's what it seems like this is that they're baiting us into this. It's like, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. So now we can enforce martial law. Now we can really fuck y'all up and we got an excuse.
Yes.
And I don't know if we're playing into their game. I don't know if there's any other choice than what we're doing too, is just to completely act up and be like, yo, fuck you. But we know that they don't let go of power like that. And we know that these are people that are essentially blood hungry. Mm-hmm. And why wouldn't? I get, in a sense, like I always used to feel like as a kid, I was like, are they being nice to us? Because if they are racist and they do hate us, why don't they just outwardly say it in a way that they just go knock door to door and blast everybody with a black face? But it's a little bit more difficult than that because they rely on us for entertainment. They rely on us for sports. We spend billions of dollars. We spend the most money out of anybody. Our dollar circulates only once. So we are the important slaves. We're the important sheep that they have to keep there in order to stay rich. So they don't want to kill us too much because they depend on our dollar. We're their customers. They don't want to kill all the customers, but they do want to give us the restrictions and make sure that we're only customers. And what's happening is that like they're basically, even if they give us reparations, what's stopping us from completely tanking what's stopping them from completely tanking the dollar after here's $1 trillion in reparations. 2 months later, we're not using the dollar anymore. Now it's this kind of currency. And we got bags of money that's basically toilet paper at this point.
Yeah.
It seems like that would be what to do, right? If you were running the world, if you wanted to take over the world and you had a race, you had a species of people here that you didn't want, it would, not saying you, but any person with that kind of dictator state of mind is going to do what they're doing. Probably even worse, So I don't know what, it's our power and our voice and our influence that's saving us, because they know that there's plenty of white people and people all over the world that loves Black culture, that is essentially lives their life around it. You know what I mean? That's what's saving us. It's our beauty, it's our talent, but that's all they want from us. That's essentially what's keeping us here.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the situation, like I said, the movement, the protest, everything that's been going on. Now I want to kind of jump in with hip hop talking about this. You have so many artists that's actually using their platforms right now, and you have Big Daddy Kane just released a song with Chuck D talking about the protest. Yes, it's dope as hell too. Super dope.
And you did a review on it already?
I'm waiting for them to upload the reaction on my channel so I can do the reaction, but I heard it on his IG. One of my subscribers, comment moderators named Emmanuel, shout out to Manny. He's always showing me love and support. He sent it to me like, Kofi. I said, is the video up? It's like, nah, like, oh, damn, but it's dope. You got people like Black Thought speaking out. You got Public Enemy released the Fight the Power remix last night featuring Nas, Black Thought, Rhapsody, and YG. Love that song right there. I did a reaction to that on my channel, and that song is right there.
Check that out.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You have Conway the Machine did a song Frontlines talking about the situation with the police and George Floyd. You have so many artists right now that's actually using their platform, and I'm very thankful and happy they're doing that. How do you feel right now with the music? Not just people using their platform. Do you think hip hop is going to actually take some type of like transformation of like, hold up, all the bling bling, all the booty shaking, all that, hold up. We need to be talking about this. This is way more important than that. Do you think artists are going to actually maybe come to like some type of like transformation in their mind? I have to focus with that because right now their fans want to hear what they got to say.
Yeah. First of all, we're not partying and we're not clubbing right now. Everything's shut down. So as far as an artist are people who draw directly from what's going on, the current stream, the mainstream. We extrapolate and we make our art. We translate the times, whether it be the future, the past, or the present. Mostly the present is what influences us in our art. And right now, this is what's going on. This is the only thing we see. This is the only wordage. This is the only conversation there is. So the longer this goes on, the more that's going to be the only thing you hear out of these artists' mouths. And it's putting everybody in their lyrical bag. There really is no trap music right now. There really isn't any bubblegum music right now. Like nobody's lit in that sense. People are lit in the frustration, anger sense. And that's exactly where hip hop came out of. Even if you go back to Marley Marl, you go back to the original songs that built hip hop, essentially the message, all of those songs were built off of us going, at that time it was a crack epidemic.
Yes.
At that time it was, you had the Black Panther, you had the NWA. We were going through literally the same shit we're going through right now. It was just back then. So we are seeing a new revolution in hip hop. All the lyrics, I heard, who was it, Little Baby?
Yes.
He went off lyrically. I didn't even know he had that in him. Like that was when once you see that starting to happen, and you know that hip hop is coming back to life.
Yes.
When that ended, it's beautiful.
I feel like a fresher breath air when I hear these type of songs, especially from artists that we never heard before. But not only we have the pioneers, the OGs coming out saying, "Hey, I'm going to do something about it," and I'm gonna get on this track with you too. When they recruiting other people to get on the track with them, or they're putting a song together, or even making an album about this, I feel like this is what people need right now. Is because their voice means everything. Your voice means everything. So you might have the people that supported you since day one. They're going to still support you. And they feel like, oh my God, what does he feel about this? Because at the end of the day, you are a leader to them. I mean, you'd be surprised. You might be like, maybe I'm not. But to you, you'd be surprised who you saved a life. You might have motivated somebody to go back to school, pick up a book to understand the wordplay and everything you put out. So, your leadership, your vanguard, your skills play a big role out here in this world. Now, something you touched on earlier about the athletes, professional athletes. I see a lot of athletes like Kyrie Irving for the Brooklyn Nets. He's come out and said, we don't need to be playing. We need to be, we don't need that right now. We need to be doing this. You have another basketball player, point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies, rookie Jay Morant came out. He put a tweet up saying, F the police, and said he was going to wear the jersey down in Orlando. Now he retweeted, oh no, I was only talking about the bad cops. What do you feel about when certain professional athletes come out and they're, hey, I don't care, we need to be standing up for our people. Then you have people that actually have 1 foot in. Oh, hold up, what? You gonna blackball me? Okay, never mind. Let me retract that. How you feel about that?
That's the tug of war that I think has haunted man since the dawn of time. Mm-hmm. It's the mindset of, am I doing this for all of us, or am I doing this for me and my family? Because there's an aspect of, all right, I know that I have the entire Black community and the human race as a whole in front of me, but right now, localized in my state of being, I just have me and my family to worry about. And yes, like these people who have been working their whole lives at becoming athletes to get their parents out of poverty, get their family out of poverty, they do have a choice to make. They are literally owned by the greatest plantations on earth. Like these athletes sign $1 million deals, and all it takes is one bad statement to get all of that retracted. So on one end, I can't blame them because they're looking out for themselves and their families. Not everybody's built to be a freedom fighter and a civil rights leader. Some people want to get themselves straight first. So I don't blame those people for that. But when you retract something, it shows a little bit of submission. It shows that you don't have the angst. And these are kids. John Morant's a kid. I'm sure he would feel very differently about that in a couple of years. He might regret retracting that statement. But it's true. He probably had a whole bunch of phone calls after he made that text. And there's things that even I fall back on as an artist, because I know I got the LGBT listening to everything. YouTube will flag you. They will take your money. They will take your bread. Your bread will dry up in one day for saying the wrong thing. It sucks that they have that power over us. So, but that's what's stopping the next Messiah, 100%, is they got us in the state of limbo to where we're getting money now. If we had no money, if we weren't getting money, if it was still the 50s and the best we could do is a $60,000 a year job, it wouldn't be as much to lose that. If we still had our sense of survival skills and we knew how to control our own economy and our own agriculture, and we had our own nation, it wouldn't be an issue. We could say whatever we wanted. But we're in a state now to where they got us by the collar, man. Even me, like I'm dependent on people listening to me to buy my album. If I say the wrong thing that offends too many people, I could lose everything tomorrow. So it does put me between a rock and a hard place. Artists is a little better because it doesn't matter how extreme you are, you're gonna find fans. Athletes, these guys gotta show up with a suit. NBA players have curfews. They gotta be in the house by 10 o'clock. They got literally somebody on the phone with them. This is at their houses. They gotta get up every morning. They're literally working out every day, 2 days. They miss one of them practices, that screws up their contract. Like, they're contracted to do this. They're highly paid slaves. The highest paid slaves you could think of are athletes. That is the plantation. Think about it, They're on the field or on the court. Where do black people get Black people became slaves on the field, and we continue to be slaves in the court. And those are the two places that we thrive the most. And the stage, which is where they get the jigaboos to dance and tap dance. So, those are our three biggest methods of making money right now. And so, yeah, you're going to get a lot of these guys retracting. I say about 85 to 95% of the athletes are going to continue to going exactly how they were,
I agree. I mean, shout out to like the freedom fighters that actually took a stand since Ali, Jim Brown, Tommy Smith, in the Olympics. We had, other athletes as far as like Craig Hodges played for the Bulls. We had, Kaepernick is another person that, he's been doing it still right now. And you can even see, not all the way, but like a Kyrie Irving is trying, like, hold up, So
he's been trying.
Yeah, and a person like Stephen A. Smith wants to gloss over what he's talking about and feel like you should shut up. To me, is like, well, you got ESPN, which is you're under the umbrella with Disney, so you're getting a check. So they need you to actually push the material out to get these basketball players in the gym, so you can do your show, you can do your commentary for them, because they're giving you this multi-million-dollar contract to shut up, get out there and do our work. So he's the I hate to say, he's the black slave on the field. You heard what he said, so to tell the overseer I'm doing my job. So everything you just said, I agree 100%. Now, this is a question I had today. I thought about, said I think you're the perfect person to ask. Integration or separation moving forward in the future?
I believe we first need separation, in the sense that before you do integration, you have to know who yourself is. Like I noticed that even living in New York, which is like the greatest melting pot in the world, you have Chinatown, which is basically China in New York, right? Literally to the point that the translations on the buildings and the menus have no English. They built that for them. You have the Jewish part of New York, which literally you just see Orthodox Jews and their garbs all over the place. Hebrew writing on all the buildings, no English translations. Obviously, you have the Russian part, you have the Polish part, you have, even in the Jamaicans, they terraformed their, it's only the American blacks that have really nothing. We're kind of just like, you know, we're shopping there, we're renting from this person, wherever we can. We're just opportunists, essentially. We need to reel that in and get control of ourselves before we start to intermingle, at least on the economic level. It's too late to do it on a social level. Like, you would have to just take all the, like, unless we could build our own island, or we could somehow excavate and have our own land local in the United States, like we can be awarded our own state to where all the black people can go, and we could build our own society and then venture out with our own companies and our own money. Really, it's gonna have to take place from first of all, a legal standpoint. We're gonna have to designate our own nation, have our own currency, only shop with ourselves, then go out and integrate. So it'll be a fair playing field, because as of right now, we are in the last round and we have no points on the scoreboard.
Yes.
What I mean by that is we're about to go into the future. They're coding the Matrix, and there's no black people coding it. Going into the world of AI, if there is some kind of transcendental AI figure in the future, it's only gonna know what's inputted into it. And it's not gonna care about black people if there's no black people putting it in there. So we need our own infrastructure and our own economical base before we reintegrate into society, just so we have an equal playing field. We have some, because if it all goes to hell, everybody else can go back to where they go. They all got their own language. Well, we go to Africa and we're still visitors there. You know what I mean? It's like we can't even relate to anybody on Earth. We're kind of like a neo breed almost, like. So we don't belong anywhere, in a sense. Like, we're bastardized orphans. So yes, we need to first strengthen ourselves from within and then integrate. So that way, the integration happens based off of strictly economical purposes. Trade. That's why one nation will go to another nation. Is like, yo, we got the gold and we got the metal. We know you guys over there have the herbs and the leathers, and over there they have the, they got clean water. And so here, take our gold. We'll take some of your furs, and we'll give. It happened with trade. That's where, and we don't have nothing to trade but our talent. That's all we have to trade right now. So yes, separation first before integration. And that integration is what's going to give us our power. Like, the separation is going to give us the knowledge. It's going to give us our wisdom. It's going to give us everything we need. Then we go back outside and we got our armament now. Will that happen? I don't know. How will it happen? I don't know. Like, we have to figure out, asking for reparations ain't enough. Yeah. What's going to happen to those reparations? They're going to everybody's going to have a foreign. The Italian brands are going to be even richer. That's why they don't mind giving basketball players $100 billion contracts. Why? Because the person they bought their house from, the person they buy their shoes from, the person they get their gas from, their car from, it's all going right back. The owners of these teams are the people that own that. It's kind of like hiring somebody at Walmart and then giving them a employee discount, and then you take your check and spend your whole check at Walmart. They're basically not paying you. And that's what's happening now, is that we don't have any power. We don't have a nation. We don't really. And even if you look at Africa, man, it's been completely taken over. So yeah, what you're saying is correct. I don't know how it will happen. I don't know if it will happen. We need some really smart and daring, and we have to have some very brave people to do that. first. We've had people through time, you know, I remember Dr. York tried to create his own state, his own land. You know, we had Black Wall Street, Atlanta. I remember they were talking about Atlanta in the 50s, the 1950s. You look at black people in the 1950s, we were doing really, really good. We were almost there. Then the 60s hit, right? And then the 70s hit where we got all the great music. Then the 80s and the crack epidemic hit. So as soon as we got our foot in, we kind of lost it. And now we're completely done. Like, we would really have to just let go of everything, start from scratch, build our own shit, build our own house. If they built a street, if they built the plumbing, if they did anything to help you, you don't own it. You don't own it. Like, we would have to completely build our own shit from the ground up. Bleed on the land. That's the only way you own the land. You gotta bleed on it. And I don't know, man. It might, the next world, the next lifetime. Shout out to Badu, man.
Yeah, I believe it's the next lifetime as far as the generations from us to next, that they have the tools, the intelligence, technology, everything's for them. But, you know, it's going to take time. It's not going to be a snap of the finger, ta-da. Yeah. It takes a battle and a fight, because I tell so many people that want that. They want autonomy. They looking for liberation. My thing is the fact that I always tell people, you want liberation, you know, Malcolm said it comes with bloodshed. And at the end of the day, if we were supposedly one and we're on top, they're coming for the #1 spot. They're not going to sit down and just kick it. So people need to get out this mind frame of, we won, it's over. No, you gotta retain your title.
Yeah.
So I think people
still paying rent and you're still getting them rich. At the end of the day, they're still getting rich. I'm still smoking backwoods. I'm still drinking Poland Spring. Like, I don't own none of this shit. Yeah. We don't own none of this shit that we're spending money on every day. And you're right. And what's gonna happen first? Are black people gonna get their liberation? Are we gonna own our own land? Or the singularity of technology to where AI is taking place? And yeah, we reform the police. Oh, you guys want to get rid of the police? No problem. We'll put AI there. Now some unempathetic robots are going to be pulling you over, and we'll see how you fare with those. And guess what? They don't care about black people because there's no black people creating them. Like, number one, we need to get our black kids coding. That matrix that they're writing has no black history in it. Guarantee. And the black history they're getting is the Google black history. They're not getting the shit that we're talking about, the Bobby Hammond, the Phil Valentine, the Dr. Ben. They're getting, you know, yes, black people were slaves, you know, they're less, you know, they got sickle cell, you know, whatever it may be. Like, nah, I don't know what, it's gonna take years in patience and hard work, but they're making sure that the technological revolution happens first. Correct. They know that. That's why they're just like, okay, yeah, whatever happens. Elon Musk is working on brain implants. They about to vaccine the whole world. Literally. They're about to make it so that you can't get a job, you can't go to school, and you can't travel unless you get a vaccine. Like, that's why they're being like, yeah, we hear your wishes, Black Lives Matter, cool. Because they in the back, they're like, these guys have no idea what's about to happen. Yeah, let's give them the illusion. And that's not for us to lose faith, but we got to start now. Like, it's got to be like, all right, we know how to boycott now. We've been doing without for the past 90 days. Let's continue that. But let's only buy black. Let's give up all our land. Let's find a place. We could find some land right now. I guarantee you, if we found some empty land, like a big amount of land that we didn't even own, and we just camped there, cleared out all the trees, did our own plumbing, built our own houses, and built a wall around it, then established our own military from within and stood at the gates, they would have to give it to us. Because it's either that or they kill all of us. And we're in a state right now where they would have to kill all of us on Instagram, Twitter, and all over the world. And there's plenty of black people and there's plenty of white people, Asian people, South American people that would not stand for that. They would not want to sit there and see every black person get completely annihilated. But right now, with all the wealth that's in sports and hip hop, we have more than enough money to create our own nation right now. Tomorrow we could just be like, yo, Diddy, yo, Jay, yo, LeBron, this, that, and the other. Let's pool up, just take half of your money, put it in one pool, and let's build our own nation. Let's build Kemet right here in the United States and build a wall around it and dare them to come after us. Yeah, we don't got their guns, but guess what? They're gonna have to sit there and kill every single one of us until we get freedom. I guarantee you they would give it to us. They would give it to us because they don't, I don't know if they have it in us to do that. I don't know if they, that's why we get these 9/11s, we get these Cold Wars, because it would be very easy for them to just kill everybody on Earth. For whatever reason, they're not. They have the technology, and I'm talking about the elitists that run America. I don't want to say they have the firepower to take over. They could just go to South America and just wipe every politician away, pay off everybody else, and have a whole new continent. But there is some kind of human factor that's keeping them from doing that. It would be the same for us if we established our own nation right here on this land. We could do that tomorrow, but it would have to be tomorrow. We got to do that shit now, because you look at kids now, the kids are born with iPads in their hand. They're ready to be in the tech world. They don't give a damn about this shit, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You know, they need our labor, they need our minds, they need our you know, they need us, because without us, extermination is already on the horizon for them. So I agree 100% with you about that. One of the last questions I want to ask you, since you covered everything, what I'm very happy about, man, is back to you. So what's next for Cambatta, not just after this album, as far as 2020, 2021? Tours, more projects, what, podcasts? What's going on with you?
Yeah. So I've been trying my best to get a little bit more active with my own channel, and so right now I'm at a frequency of 3 to 4 times a month. I'll go live on my own YouTube to just kind of update people. But of course, LSD. Also in the works, I've been working with Soul Messiah and Cyrock. Shout out to Soul Messiah, Cyrock. If you don't know who Soul Messiah is, he's the producer. He works hand in hand with Cyrock, and I'm actually gonna be on his new project that's coming out, which has everybody on it. Black Thoughts on there, Cyrock, of course, a bunch of Talib Kweli, a bunch of people on that album. So I have a single that I'm dropping on that, and then in October, me, Black Magic, and Loaded Lux are dropping a project called Manifest Destiny on October 10th, 2020. So that's gonna be crazy. Yeah. So we got Cyrock and Soul Messiah over here I'm working with. Then we got Loaded Lux and Black Magic over there. Then I'll be working with Domingo Padilla, who is the producer of Dream Shatterer by Big Pun. Me and him got an album coming out at the end of the year. I got another project with a producer named Master Sin coming out. I'm basically set up musically for the rest of this year and all of 2001 as far as releases. So I'll just be keeping it pure and keeping it authentic to the art. I won't be doing much more other than music. So it's just for the rest of this year and the rest of next year, I'll be solidifying my musical legacy. So it goes LSD July 21st. Manifest Destiny October 10th, and then the rest of this year I'm gonna try to squeeze out 1 or 2 more projects before the year is done.
Okay, most definitely, man. Like I said, when those projects drop, you already know reactions, album reviews on this channel. Definitely for you to get your, not only exposure, promotion, so people can follow you, they can support, put money in your pocket, and hopefully at that time, right before Manifest Destiny drops, I can hopefully get an interview with you and Loaded Lux together. That'll be beautiful,
Oh yeah, that's a guarantee. Okay. That's a guarantee, and I'm gonna talk to Soul Messiah and Cyrock too, and get them on here too.
Oh, please, anybody, like I said, this channel for you, man, is always open for you. I don't care if you like, I need to come over there and just vent. I'm gonna be like, come on.
I
I would
appreciate
never
it.
say no. This channel is always for you, no matter what. How many? I don't care if you release 12 projects in a year. I will always do the album review, reaction, interview, whatever I need to do to support you, man. Because you supported me since day one, and that's always been my loyalty. My reciprocity is always, shown like that, and I have to do that because it sets the tone, it sets the bar, and it lets other people know out there, this is how we operate. You're supposed to operate on this certain frequency. You ain't supposed to just take, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're supposed to show, hey, this is how we help each other out here because whatever I can do, whatever I can to make you the person you're supposed to be because you're supposed to be having 90 million streams in the day. You're supposed to have 1 billion views on one of your videos. I'm just being real because of the type of message you put out. People need to hear that. But we know why that's not going to be on that level yet.
Yeah.
I said yet because I manifest and I speak into existence that it will happen. But all I got to say is, like I said, everybody please check out LSD July 21st on his solo return, 33rd solo return. That's a blessing in disguise for him to be here. More projects coming. You heard what he said. Please give out your social media platforms to everybody so they can know. And I'm also, before you give it out, I will have that in the description for everybody so you will know exactly where to go. And please follow him also on his YouTube channel. So he has a YouTube channel, and I've been seeing you, man, because I was working around the house and I was listening and I kept looking at the iPad while you was talking. So trust me, shout out to you.
Insane ranting.
Yeah, but go ahead,
definitely shout out to you again, Kofi. Like, if this is your first time listening, or if you always listen more. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know who to listen to or when to listen to. And since I've subscribed to your page, every day I go on, you're giving me something new. And there's at least been 20 songs that I would not have heard if it wasn't for you doing a reaction on it. So I'm thankful to you, just as a fan, that you're even doing what you're doing to put these artists in these songs, because you're a filtration system to where if you're listening to it and you're doing a review on it, you don't have to go out searching for yourself, because they know if it's coming from you, oh, this is that cloth. This is that cloth. You're kind of like a tastemaker in that sense. So first of all, shout out to Kofi's Universe. If you're listening and you want to hear more of my stuff, you can go to www.cambattamusic.com, or you can go to @CambattaMusic on Twitter, Instagram, and also it's Cambatta Music on Facebook and YouTube as well. Again, LSD dropping July 21st. Shout out to Mellow Music, Lunar Solar Duality, pre-order it now.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell the subs, fans, first time people hearing who you are? You have the floor right now to say anything you want to say to them.
Yeah, I want to say this. My musical plight has strictly been word of mouth up to this point. I'm not somebody that does a real great job at social media and being lit. So I really depend on you guys to spread the word. I do my best with the pen. If you haven't heard my music, listening to it, please spread it. If you want to hear me work with somebody, I've been hearing a lot of people say they want to hear me with specifically K Reno, Daylight, and Lupe Fiasco. So all my fans, I need you to go on their sites, on their pages, and DM them and just say my name. Again, those people, K Reno, Daylight, Lupe. Hit those people up right now and tell them that Cambatta wants the work. I'm ready to work now. So hit those people up and let them know.
I got another question. We ain't finished now. Hold up. I had K Reno on my channel last year. He was my second interview.
Wow.
So I talked to him. I can definitely, if you want me to talk, let him know.
Yeah, please. Tell him we'll send him bread, whatever.
Everybody on my channel, they talk about you and Reno as the top tier lyricists.
Yeah.
They want to see y'all.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah. Let's make this happen.
To me, seeing K Reno and Cambatta together on a track, that's like having Rakim and KRS-One on the track.
Yo, not only does that mean the world for me, but that would be a dream come true. I'm a big fan of his pen, and he's one of the most creative. I mean, especially what he does with the with the dichotomy and the polarity and the way he rhymes. We have a very similar thought patterns in certain ways. So I think it will work.
Okay, we're gonna definitely I'm gonna definitely work on my end to make that happen, and you know,
Put out an album, dude. You should put out a Kofi Presents compilation album, dude. Put all this shit together, dude.
Because there's a lot of MCs out here, like you just said. Daylight, I love Daylight. Lupe, like I said, there's so many MCs I would love to see work together. I did a live stream last week, and it was like, my live stream for like music reactions. People request certain songs, and I play. And after they first request, they just donate any amount, and I'll play. That's how a lot of people get a chance to hear different music from different type of artists from different countries. And they had it was more like a dream matchup of having two MCs together. And people was like, they would love to see like Akala and Immortal Technique together. They would love to see. I said, what about Rakim and Nas? What about like?
How hasn't happened?
Yeah, I said, what about like Black Thought and Razzcast, and like these are people I was like naming, like it would just be so beautiful to see certain MCs put together on one track. Like even when the track with you and Cannabis was on, oh my God, that blew my mind right there. That blew my mind right there, because I love Cannabis. He's one of the best lyricists of all time, and even
top 5 of all time by far.
Yes, and even a track, I would love to see you and Killer Priest on a track together.
That has to happen too. That has to happen too, man. Killer Priest is aware of me. I'm obviously aware of him. It's going to happen.
Okay, so whatever I can do, like I said, on my end, I'm going to definitely reach out. Y'all hearing Kofi, he ain't going to lie. I will reach out to K. Reno. K. Reno, you probably going to watch this too. You're going to see me reach out to you, because I definitely want to see the two top lyricists in the game get on a track. It might be 20 minutes, but who gives a damn? We're going to be loving that. Yeah. We're going to love that, because right. That is real bars right there. That's what we need. To me, that's like having Kawhi Leonard and Giannis, the Greek Freak, on the track together.
Yeah.
You need that. You would need that right now to this day. So we'll talk after I stop everything. But like I said, everybody, please pick up the LSD July 21st on his solo return. He has future projects coming out. You will know about that on my channel. Trust me, I will never keep y'all out the loop. Y'all always know about everything about Cambatta. If y'all want him back again, he's definitely coming back, and that's mandatory, because he is part of this channel. He's a family member. He's a family member to this channel. So anytime something drops, you will always get the exclusive interviews, reactions, reviews for his albums, etc., 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 especially in the hip hop news. So until next time, everybody, Black Power, y'all.
Peace.